Now launch pads as a product, these are tried and true products in the crypto space. They even exist in the TradFi space. We just use banks for them.
On January 11th, 2024, this video was released. And in this video, Kyle, who is the founder of Paid Network, is going over all of the improvements and changes that they've made to Paid Network over the last 2 years. Now, I'm going to leave a link to this video in the description below, but this video is like an hour and a half long. A lot of people are not going to sit there and watch that. I mean, this video has got less than 29,000 views. So in my video, I'm going to try and cover the bullet points and the highlights, the things that made me incredibly bullish on this project, and do it in a shorter amount of time. And hopefully that'll be enough of a teaser that some people, it'll make them curious enough to go and do their own research. Now, Paid Network was originally launched in January of 2021, so like the tail end of the last bull run. Now, for me, one of the things that I am trying to focus more on are projects that have not gone through a full bull run or a full cycle, because most people just look at those when they come into crypto and they're like, well, that's an old project. They've already had their move and I've missed it. So I need to find the new project. And that's what I'm going to invest in, because that's going to have the potential to give me 100x or whatever they think they're going to get. So a lot of established projects that are out there, even if they're good projects and they're in the top 100 and all that good stuff, they may or may not give as good of returns as a newer project, or a project that has not gone through a full bull run cycle and had its chance to get everybody in and everybody excited and seeing the pump that they haven't seen before. So I like Paid Network from that standpoint, because they have not been through a full bull run. But what they are, of course, is a launch pad for IDOs, or initial DEX offerings. These guys have launched quite a few projects during the last bull run, and some that are pretty successful and that people are going to recognize. They've launched AOs, which a lot of people are talking about right now because of, they're focused on DePIN and AI and storage. They've launched Star Atlas, which was a fairly popular game. They've launched Metis DAO, which was found by Vitalik's mom. Now, Metis was launched for like $1 on Paid Network when they did their IDO, and it's like $80 to $90 right now. So they've had some successful projects. There's a lot of upside potential in getting involved in IDOs. As we know that this is a proven product, it generates a lot of excitement. And so we have a Paid Network here saying, how can we be the biggest and best launch pad that crypto has ever seen? So back in the day, they were doing 5 to 6 projects launched per week, during the 2021 bull market. And then the bear market showed up, as it always does, and they decided to go ahead and spend that time improving their offering. Let's listen to what Kyle has to say about this.
Now let's talk a little bit about where we're going, where we've come from. So we learned a lot of lessons in 2021. We had some tech issues. We had hack. We had, definitely had issues for sure. It was growing pains, right? And the bull market was crazy. We were launching, 5 projects, sometimes 6 projects a week, and very little sleep. But it was fun. It was wild. And when the bull market finally came to an end, it made sense to stop, reflect, and try to figure out what happened. What did we do well? What could we have done better? What were the problems with our model? How could they be improved? And so for the first few months into the bear market, when it didn't make any sense to launch any more projects anymore, instead of trying to continue to keep up with marketing, with whatever, doing launches that people just weren't very excited about, I decided to make a message to the community. If you guys are around from then, and what I told everyone was, I said, guys, we are not going to, I'm basically going radio silent when it comes down to paid. This is not over. It's not over by any means, but give us some time, put our heads together. Let us go build something phenomenal. Let us use everything that we've learned and come back when the time is right, when the market is ready for it, with a product that is made for the biggest bull run the world has ever seen. I mean, we also, just in entire company level, we've scaled up tremendously. A lot of the team that was with us before are no longer with us. We've managed to recruit a lot of amazing talent, people from Deloitte and KPMG and Consensus, Mizari, State Street, Google, everything. really high caliber team. Also, since the bear market, Master Ventures, we also raised a $20 million LP fund, and that's being ran by a very, very smart team. And the ability for us to, now we've also expanded greatly our VC and our deal flow network, right? We didn't have a big VC network of high caliber tier 1 VCs like we do now. We have good relationships with people from like Animoca and Cypher and Hashkey and Delphi Digital and Six Man Ventures and Lightspeed and things like that, right? That we share deals with Cognitant and BitScale, et cetera, et cetera. So it's allowing us to get really high quality caliber deals.
So these are the types of things that I like to hear when I'm looking at a project. Now, Kyle has also stated that they've already integrated with 10 blockchains. They have goals to implement many more of them. They've got exchange listings lined up right now. There's one centralized exchange, and you got options for basically Uniswap and PancakeSwap. And one of the things that he stated that they're also working on is full decentralization of this project, where everything would be handled either by the community in voting or smart contracts. So like the paid network team, is not going to be involved in this stuff. It's going to be fully decentralized. Now, the next thing that got my attention, and probably the main thing, was their focus on the tokenomics, with their goal being to create as much value for this token as possible. Let's hear what Kyle has to say about this.
I believe that if you have a token, the same rule should be applied, that all value accrual from one team, one project, one business model should go to one thing. And if you have a token, it needs to go to the token, right? So I'm going to get into how Paid's new token economic model works, but I'm very happy to say that we put a lot of thought into this, and I wanted to create one of the best economic models possible for value accrual within the Paid token.
So launchpads traditionally work via a tiered system, but Paid Network has removed or restructured those tiers to create something that hasn't been done before. They've eliminated the lottery models, and they've improved the scalability in the process. What happens is the tiers get too expensive as the price of the token gets up. These create barriers of entry, because people have to buy the company's token just to participate in these IDOs. And they didn't want to do that anymore. Now, Paid Network going forward is going to have only two tiers. They're going to have Open Pool, which is open to everybody, and they're going to have Early Pool, which is going to require 75,000 paid tokens to be staked. Open Pool will require no paid tokens whatsoever. It's just first come, first serve. And then Early Access Pool is basically going to get you early access to the IDO, so you get the jump on everybody else, like 24-hour early access or whatever it is. Now, there's no lockup period when you stake your tokens, but there is a 2% tax on staking and unstaking, so you don't want to do this, be staking and unstaking every day. Otherwise, that's reasonable. And this 2% is going to go into the community fund, which we'll cover in 1 second here. So the way this works is, rather than purchasing paid tokens for access to the IDOs, you're simply paying a fee only if you get an allocation to an IDO. And that's going to be a 10% fee of whatever you invest. So if you want to invest $100, it would be a $10 fee. These fees that they collect, these 10% fees, are then used to buy back Paid Network tokens on the open market, creating a constant buy pressure on the token. So for example, say a $20 million raise for 5 projects a week, that's $100 million a week that they're raising. A 10% fee of that would be $10 million in revenue generated in 1 week. So 100% of that revenue is used to buy back paid tokens on the open market. Once they do that, they take 50% of those tokens and they burn them. So now we have a token with incredible amounts of buy pressure being put on it on a consistent basis, and we also have a highly deflationary token. Of those remaining tokens, 20% are going into paid liquidity. So the reason that's important is because it attracts traders and it attracts centralized exchanges. If there's a lot of liquidity in your token, it makes it very attractive for everybody. 5% of that is going into marketing and growth for the community, and then 25% of that goes into the paid community fund. So the community fund, so for an example, let's say there's a $10 million raise on an IDO. So we now have $1 million in USDC as revenue, and that's used to buy back paid network tokens on the open market, of which 50% of that is burnt immediately. 20% of that goes to liquidity, 5% for marketing and growth, and then 25% of that, or $250,000, goes into the community fund. Now this money, along with all the accumulated, staking and unstaking fees, are going to be in the community fund, but this is money that the community can invest into other projects as they see fit. So if this were invested into a project that returned a 10x or $2.5 million, then that $2.5 million of whatever token that was, whatever project's token that was, is then converted back into paid network tokens on the open market, creating even more buy pressure. And again, half of those tokens are burnt. So there's even more deflationary mechanisms built into this. And then the other half of those tokens are sent back to everybody who's staking their paid network tokens. And it's going to be allocated based on your staked amount. So if you're staking paid network tokens, that means you should be getting regular paid network tokens essentially airdropped to you. In addition to that, there's going to be tokens from the IDO allocations that paid network is going to receive, from all of those projects. Now, these could be as much as 1% of their supply. Paid network will be taking those tokens and airdropping them to the paid stakers as well. And I mean, if they're doing 3 to 5 IDOs a week, you could be getting more tokens than you know what to do with, assuming you're staked. So with this community fund, the top 50 stakers will be able to propose projects to invest in, and then all of the other stakers will be able to vote on those projects. Now, all of this is only a fraction of what they have planned for paid network. Let's listen to what Kyle has to say about that.
This is like maybe a third of our roadmap that's coming here, and not next year. But we're talking about like the next, like this quarter, next quarter, mostly like one of the biggest things that's irrelevant right now. Trust me, you wouldn't care about it right now. But trust me, in 12 months from now, it will be the biggest thing in the industry. And we will be ahead of the game on that one, right? This is the way the world is evolving. And we already have plans to make sure that we are the first people to be able to service that industry. So soon we have other products coming. We've got fun products. We've got some games. We've got things coming that are going to make it very easy. I believe that we're going to have the most retail inbound users the crypto community has ever seen. If you saw my video the other day, you saw I showed this graph with the search term for Bitcoin on Google. And you can see that in 2017, the spike was significantly higher than the 2021 bull run. I think that this bull run is going to make that 2017 spike look like the 2013 spike. I think this is going to be massive. So in order for us to be able to service a massive amount of people, we have to be hyper scalable. And we are. And we also have some other partnerships working in the works right now with some of the largest media outlets, some celebrities, like superstar celebrities, because we want to be able to get the word out to crypto curious, crypto newbies, right? And so our brilliant CTO, Ben, is really focused on how do we make this super easy to use for crypto curious people who are afraid to come use MetaMask and to do all this thing. They just want to be able to link their bank account, swap to the stable coin, bam, use a thing, very easy on your application. Don't have to have a desktop computer. This is all coming. The stuff I just mentioned isn't live yet, but it's in the works, right? Just a little teaser of things to come. I'm a big believer in account abstraction. I'm a big believer in removing all the Web3 complexities. I'm a big believer in removing the underlying complications of what chain it is and bridging tokens and all that crap, right? We have technology today to get rid of all of that stuff. So yes, this year, I can't give you an exact date, but this year, you will be able to participate in an IDO by connecting a bank on your phone in an app anywhere in the world at any time, super seamlessly with literally a couple clicks of a button.
And as if all of that wasn't bullish enough, we also have to take into consideration the advisors that they have set up. We have Virtual Bacon, a popular crypto YouTuber with over 260,000 subscribers. All of these advisors are there for the purposes of helping to grow the project. They will be talking about the project on their channels, giving it tons of exposure, and they all are going to have a vested interest in seeing this project succeed to the best of its ability. We also have Ivan on Tech, a small YouTube channel with 516,000 subscribers, as an advisor, talking about paid network. They have Crypto Banter, 720,000 subscribers on just their one channel. I don't know how many channels they have now, but they've got a lot. They have a lot going on over there. They have daily videos coming out. Paid Network has these guys and all of their staff on as advisors. This is even more exposure. And I mean, they're not just going to be sitting there shilling Paid Network nonstop, but these type of influencers with platforms and audiences as big as they have, these can make or break a project. If you have these types of YouTube channels talking about a project, it is going to get tons of exposure. They also have Altcoin Daily on board with 1.4 million subscribers as an advisor to Paid Network. And as if all that were not enough, they also have Alex Becker. Again, basically 1.4 million. When these guys talk about a project, it pumps. So you kind of need to be positioned before they start going off on a rant about how great this project is and how much it's going to pump. Because if they're talking about it, it's too late. As of this video, most of them have been fairly tight-lipped. I've heard some of them mention it briefly a couple of times, not enough to really put a spotlight on it, but I have a feeling that that's going to change. So the way I look at Paid Network right now is, this is like getting into a brand new project at the very beginning, but at the same time, it's not a new project. They have a proven track record at doing this. They've done it before. They did it last bull market. They were successful with it. And then they spent the entire 2 years of the bear market retooling their project to improve all aspects of it and make it light years ahead of all of their competition. This means they know what to expect. They already know what kind of numbers that they can realistically do. Like, this isn't just some guys with an idea, like, hoping for the best. Right? They've already done this. This is a huge, and the fact that they basically revamped everything, it's like simultaneously a brand new project. So let's look at some projections of what I think that this project could do, or what kind of potential it actually has. So we can see right now they have a market cap a little over $100 million, fully diluted, about double that. But I base my projections off of the current market cap. Usually that's not going to change all that much. And as long as the fully diluted valuation isn't more than about double of what the current market cap is, I'm okay with that. Like, if the fully diluted valuation was like $1 billion, I mean, that's too much. That's hanging out there in the sidelines, and I don't know what it's doing or when it's going to flood the market. But this is fine with me. So we can see that Paid Network is ranked right now 387 by market cap. So the first question is, can I get a 10x from this? So that would make it about $1 billion market cap. So if we take a look, that means that would make it, say, somewhere around 80, spot number 80 by market cap. It would have a price tag of like $3.80. So do we think that it's unrealistic for a project, a launch pad project of all things, something that's actually, a project that's actually doing something, that's offering a project, that's bringing in revenue, that's adding value, giving value to people, providing a service, with all of the bullish attributes that I just went through? And that's not even a fraction of what they have coming. But do we think it's possible that they could make it to the top 100 and be somewhere in like the number 80 range? I don't see why not. I mean, look at what else is up here. Osmosis, that's probably a pretty good one. BitTorrent, okay, great. Chili's, they've been around. Blur, ApeCoin, Tezos. I mean, but, KuCoin. But we've got also some random, like, what is this? Chile? I mean, what in the hell is Chile? Like, who is buying this thing? I don't even know what this is. Like, what is this? Watch Chiles get cash. Okay? Top social network to get money. I mean, this sounds like a scam. Like, the website's written in broken English. More than a social network. Chile is the top place to chill and get money for it. Well, that's great. Okay. Meet Digital Glasses. They will help you get money. Are you serious? This thing has $1 billion market cap, fully diluted valuation of 18 billion. You've got to be kidding me. In my opinion, there is no way that a project as good as Paid Network, once it starts getting traction and starts moving, could not be outperforming a project like this. I don't know, maybe Chile is a great project. I've never heard of it, but just looking at their website for 5 seconds, it just looks like it's a joke or something. Like maybe it's like a meme coin / trying to be a real project or so. I don't know. But Paid Network, with what they're offering, there is no question in my mind that they couldn't make it to somewhere in the top 100. But these are today's prices. What about by the end of the bull run? We still have up to 2 years left. Now, I believe personally that just to speculate, that the entire crypto space will reach somewhere around a $10 trillion market cap by the peak of this bull run. So that's 5 times what it is today. So if Paid Network were to make it to the top 100, say somewhere around position 80, we could estimate that spot's market cap to be about 5 times higher than it is today, or about $5 billion. $5 billion divided by, let's use 300 million paid tokens circulating, and we now have a price tag of about $16 per Paid Network token. And what if it keeps climbing the market cap ladder? What if it starts outperforming spot number 70 and 60 and 50 and starts moving up the ranks? Like, I could envision by the peak of the bull run, when everything is going crazy, I could envision a $10 billion Paid Network market cap. I think it could have the potential to surge to that level, and that would give us a price of over $30 per paid token. Now, this is just me running some numbers and speculating on, future potential here, but this is crypto. I mean, stranger things have happened than that, and if you've been through these bull runs before, you know that they always tend to outperform what you even imagine is possible. And of course, none of this even accounts for the potential gains that you could make just by participating in some of these IDOs. If the average IDO goes up 1,000 to 2,000%, I mean, there's huge gains right there on a potential regular basis just by being plugged in and being the first to get involved in some of these IDOs. So we'll end that video here. Guys, do your own research. I put some links in the description below to help get you started. Make sure you like the video and subscribe if you haven't. And if you have any questions, feel free to jump into our Discord. We've got a small group of like-minded crypto enthusiasts in there. I also post these videos in there before I post them on YouTube. And I do my best to answer everybody's questions. My goal is to help people maximize their gains in crypto by learning how to do this correctly. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you again in the next video.